in regards to a factual basis for this, Your Honor, on March the 19th of last year, the victim, Ms. Joyner, was at her residence. It's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon when she walks outside to take some trash to her trash can. As she's doing that, somebody walks up, and we would present evidence at trial that it was the defendant walked up behind her with a mask on, his long sleeves, gloves on that were taped up so nothing would be exposed, and demanded that she go back inside her residence. Initially, she didn't see who it was. She thought it may have been one of her grandchildren or somebody else, and so she thought it was somebody kidding. But then he said, no, get inside, and he demanded her to go back inside the residence, which she did. While inside the residence, a number of things happen. He goes through her purse, takes her purse, looks through it, tries to see how much money she has. She does not have a lot of money. It's about $20 to $30, and more money is demanded from her. She is ordered to call Robbins Federal Credit Union if this were going to trial. We would have presented evidence that she placed 2 calls, and we had those calls. They were recorded, where she was attempting to move money from her savings account to her checking account so she could withdraw it. They told her, the employees at Robbins, that she needed to come in. And actually, the second phone call, the female on the other end of the line put Ms. Joyner on hold and told her supervisor, started speaking to them, saying something doesn't seem right. This lady keeps talking to somebody in the background. I was not comfortable with this. At which point then she told Ms. Joyner that she had to come into the bank. The defendant ordered Ms. Joyner, and I will say at this point he showed a gun while they were outside, a gun that was in his waistband. But after she did this trying to get the money, he demanded that she go out to the car in the driveway or in the carport. He took a blanket out of the house, laid down in the back of the car, it's an SUV Lexus, demanded her get into the vehicle, where he demanded that she drive to Robbins Federal Credit Union. They went to one credit union. He did not want her to stop there, so he demanded that she go to a second one. When she went to the second credit union, she went through the drive-through. Well, somewhat of an alert had been placed on her account. At this point, though, she writes on a business card, she writes the word help, attempting to try to get attention, but they're not able to see this, or they did not see that. But the employees inside the Robbins Federal Credit Union tell her she needs to come back inside if she wants to do this transaction. At which point the defendant tells her, go, you just need to go. Get back to your house. She's on her way back to the house when there's a conversation in between them, and he's actually on the phone with somebody else who we believe is involved in this. But she's on the way back to the house when she asks him, are you going to shoot me? He replies, yes. He then said, instead of telling her to go to her house, he says, don't go to the house, keep going straight, heading towards 96. She's at the intersection. She's at a 3-way stop, Your Honor, when she thinks to herself, well, if I go out to the woods where he wants me to go, he may kill me. At that point, she jumps out of her car. There's somebody behind her. We had that witness who we presented at trial, Mr. Smith, who sees her run towards him, at which point the defendant then climbs over from the back of the seat into the front seat and drives off. He drives away from the scene. Ms. Joyner talks to Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith calls law enforcement. That's how their involvement begins. The defendant at that point drives to a gas station, or right around a gas station, to drop the vehicle off. Law enforcement has begun their job, and they notice, they get camera of him dropping this off. They see video of him then walking, getting into another vehicle, a truck driven by who we believe is the co-defendant in this case, Mr. Moore, Joshua Moore, and that vehicle picks him up and they drive away. Because of other investigations, law enforcement is able to figure out who Mr. Moore is. And through their investigation, they speak to Mr. Moore. He then gives the name of Mr. Marchant. Mr. Marchant, 3 or 4 days later after the events occurred in the indictment, he's brought into the law enforcement center. He's interviewed by investigator Pennycuff, at which point he basically gives it up. This is what I did. This is where I told her to go. This is what I told her to do. Now he tells law enforcement that it was not a real gun. It was a fake gun. And in the statement, he said, she'll probably even tell you, I kept it in my waist because I didn't want her to see it because it had a red or an orange tip on it, which she confirmed in her statements that she had given a few days before. Mr. Marchant also tells law enforcement what he did with the clothes, the gun. He says he had taken them to Hawkinsville, thrown them in a dumpster behind a gas station. Investigator Pennycuff goes down there. He reviews the video from the gas station. They actually recovered the video of it showing that he did that. Unfortunately, the dumpster had been dumped, I believe, a day or two before he got down there. So none of the items were still in the dumpster, but the statement he gave was confirmed by the video they show. They also speak to a clerk there at the gas station who confirms that the defendant had come in there that day that he said he was down there. At that point, Your Honor, because of this statement, because of the evidence they had collected in their investigation, he was arrested for these charges, and now we're here before the court today. Your Honor, he has entered his guilty plea in writing with the assistance of counsel. I have the acknowledgement and waiver rights, and he was also gone.
Mr. White, you've had extensive dealings with him. Are you satisfied that he does understand he's able to enter this plea?
Yes, sir.
Are you changing your plea to guilty because you are guilty of those 4 charges? I will accept your plea then.
I rarely have a client as ashamed as he is. And he did give a full confession, and so I know that from my dealings with him, this is free and voluntary what he's doing. The only thing I want to add is that we would like an opportunity to call a number of people for Mr. Marchant, and so the sentencing hearing might be a little bit longer than usual.